going on, wrestling world? It's Kitanaihare. I'm gonna talk about the Nexus really. 'Cause that's the only thing that's actually got me actually watching wrestling again. All right, basically, my thoughts on the Nexus. When Nexus first came out, they had a lot of heat. Everybody loved the fact to watch John Cena get his ass whipped because it's such a rare thing that even happens. Because WWE's got him doing the Superman routine all the fucking time, but then they kind of dropped the ball with him a little bit. People were saying it was getting stale, but I still like the Nexus. I mean, this is gonna be a bit biased, but I'm a huge Barrett fan, and Otanga had the whole star screen type shit going on where he was trying to take over so bad, but Otanga's so trash that there's no way he could like really lead the Nexus without Barrett, which is why he didn't take over the shit. He just gave it to Punk like a bitch. So, and that's nothing I want to talk about. How CM Punk took over and shit. That was a real bitch way to do it, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I feel that if they wanted Punk to legitimately take over and be like a legit leader that can actually be respected, they should have fought it out kind of like Lion King style, like Simba and Scar or some shit, you know what I'm saying? But he just fucked Barrett over, and how do you take a guy like that seriously as your leader? He just fucked the guy over who was actually gonna win and take the fucking leadership. So, I mean, it did good for Punk being like a straight up heel and all, but it's one of those cowardly type things. Like the reason Miz as a champion right now, why I can't take him seriously, is because he's like the most cowardly heel I have ever seen. You know what I'm saying? I mean, once you become the champ, you're supposed to have that bullseye on you at all times. You're supposed to kind of be like, you know, it's alright to be a little scared when you find a, motherfucker like the Undertaker or some shit. But this is Randy Orton. Randy Orton ain't that much, swollen than the Miz, and Miz got backup all the fucking time, but he always running from him. I mean, Miz ain't won no legit match in a hot minute because they just dropping the ball with him as champion. You know what I'm saying? I don't want him to. If you're gonna put the strap on anybody, make it someone that we can believe in as being a champion. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like John Morrison, but Morrison still needs to improve. And also, I'm actually glad they didn't put it on him against the Miz. He kind of reminds me of Edge in like 2004, 2003ish, because Edge wasn't winning the belt back then, but everyone wanted him to win it. Everybody. There wasn't a single person who watched SmackDown who wasn't like, that man should be champion. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wanted him to be champion. And I think that's what they're doing with Morrison now. So he may not get it anytime soon, but I do think he'll get it in due time. Probably when his mic skills improve a little bit. But he's getting better. I think he was pretty trash when he first came out, but he's improved. Oh yeah, the Nexus, getting off track and shit, because there's so much shit about WWE that can be talked about, because they dropped the ball with a lot of shit. But I ain't gonna talk about the tag team division. That shit been trash for a long time. Nexus, fuck. Back to the Nexus. Alright. So this is a spoiler. I'm gonna wait 5 seconds. SmackDown related. For those who ain't seen it, I'm just gonna wait. Alright, you've been warned. Alright, so basically, Justin Gable and Heath Slater, after they pretty much dipped out on CM Punk, they went to SmackDown and joined Wade Barrett. And when they did that, I just went. Just because I didn't want them to drop the ball with Wade Barrett. You know what I'm saying? You got this dude, he's got this massive heat. Everybody hates this dude, and I didn't want them to do to Wade Barrett what they did with Sean O'Hare and Muhammad Hassan. You know what I'm saying? Don't drop the ball with that dude. So I'm real glad that the legitimately good people of the Nexus are actually rolling with the real leader of Nexus, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Don't roll with CM Punk bitch ass, because he took it in a bitch way. CM Punk has all the garbage of the Nexus right now, and that's funny to me. You got Otanga, not the best wrestler. You got Husky. What has Husky ever really fucking done? You got Skip Sheffield, who's injured right now. He may go somewhere in the future because they love them power guys and shit, but Other than that, he's not. I don't. When I see Nexus, I don't see. I don't see none of the guys that are with Punk now except Otunga when I think of Nexus. I think of Barrett. I think of Slater, Gabriel, and Otunga, and maybe even Tarver because he had that. You know, he had the shit on. He looked real goony and all that. So I mean, I saw him, but I don't really see nobody else's Nexus except maybe when Daniel Bryan choked out that dude with his tie. That was pretty hardcore right there. So I mean, I'll give him that, but he was only a member for like one episode, so that was some hardcore shit though. So it was some bullshit. They fired him for that shit, but anyway, pretty much Wade Barrett's got all the good members and Punk's got all the trash members. Punk's the only person on Nexus who's a legitimately all around established mic skills and good fighter. Like if Punk were to leave the whatever they call it, that ain't the I don't call them motherfuckers the Nexus because that's not the Nexus to me. Otunga's the only person that Punk has that's a legitimate threat, you know. So I don't know what you gonna call him. Call him the Straight Society, the Society, something like that. But I wouldn't call him the Nexus. I hope Barrett and the SmackDown crew keep the Nexus name, not Punk, because Punk took it in the worst way you possibly could take over leadership. So just happy that Barrett got the real crew, and Ezekiel Jackson's with him now. So they got the powerhouse in Zeke Jackson. They got Heath Slater, and that kid's got so much potential. It's ridiculous. I'm really looking forward to seeing where he goes once they actually let him start talking more and doing more matches and letting him get seen more instead of just as Wade Barrett's goon. Heath Slater, I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does in the future. Justin Gabriel, he's gonna be a real strong mid card guy, but only time will tell if he goes, real high up into the higher card. But Wade Barrett, he's pretty much already there. You can't really people don't even talk about John Cena no more without talking about Wade Barrett because Wade Barrett, he's up there with Cena's. Cena had his rivalries and shit. He's up there with Randy Orton and guys like that. Randy Orton and Edge now because the first part of that storyline was just amazing. So, and a lot of people say it's an NWO clone, but it's based off the NWO. It's probably influenced by the NWO, but I wouldn't call it a clone because what would have been an NWO clone would have been if they would have took Rated RKO. You take established motherfuckers. These was unknown guys. Nobody knew or cared about these dudes, and they came out and they made an impact. And after a week, everybody was talking about them. So it's not really an NWO clone. NWO clone would have been you take Edge, Orton, and have Cena turn on all the little 5-year-olds and all them and all that and become a heel, and they make a big group and just start recruiting the whole roster. That would have been an NWO clone. So I can see the influences and why people say that, but I wouldn't call it an NWO clone. But the whole splitting them in half thing, I can understand that because I was even saying that weeks ago that they might split in half like NWO Black and White and the Wolfpack did. So it's gonna be real interesting to see. I just hope that we don't see the new Nexus versus the older Nexus guys and all, because that's not even fair in my opinion. That is not even fair because we already know Barrett's Nexus is pretty much gonna trash Punk's. I mean, really, Punk's the only really decent fighter on that whole crew. Otunga, he alright, but he kind of so-so. I can see him as a mid-card champion, but right now I don't see him as the world champion or anything like that. So Otunga, he's a shifty guy. I'm not gonna say never. But he right now he looks like the right hand man. It's kind of like reminds me of State Property when Jay-Z was chilling in the limo and all that, and Dame be like, hey yo Jay, we got this going on, and they're just like, why don't you take care of it? They got him looking like the bitch of the group. So I don't know about that, but we'll see what goes on with the Nexus. I don't want to make the video no longer than it needs to be, but thanks for watching. Leave a comment if you can. That's all I got really. Peace out, WWE fans.